So I'm a coach. I work mainly with professionals who feel stuck at work for any reason. So most of my clients are accountants and lawyers, but I also have some HR professionals, engineers, teachers, people like that. And I work with them to help unravel their confusing thoughts and see a way forward. So people need a coach, I think, for a number of reasons, but two that particularly stand out to me. One is that they are having to make a decision. So it might be that they're in transition and they're having these confusing thoughts about which way to go, and they need to work out for themselves what would be best for them. But I think the other reason is that they say they feel stuck, but some of that's because they want to move forward and roughly know what they want to do, but they just can't get there. So the will is there, but they just can't manage to do it, and they want to talk to someone about that just to help them think about their limiting beliefs and what it is that's getting them stuck at the moment.
For you?
Yeah, I say most of my clients tend to go for 6 sessions, and then if they want to, they can sort of expand on that. I've got a couple of clients who, particularly who are looking for a job, maybe who are kind of in transition, who've doing 3 sessions. You can actually get quite a lot out of a 20-minute coaching session. But if the reason they're coming to coaching is to kind of change their behaviours, then that can take quite a long period of time. So I'd say 6 months minimum, maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, so it's interesting. So I can't really get people to do anything. A lot of the will has got to come within themselves. But I think people know what they want deep down, but there's just something blocking them. And sometimes they don't know what that block is, or it might be that they think they know it on a surface level, but when we start discussing it, and when they have that time to reflect, they realize it might go down a level deeper as well. So before they can change their behaviors, they have to change their beliefs. And so one of the things we may do is talk about reframing that belief. So I was talking to one client about inner critics, so having that voice inside you saying that, you can't do this. If you do this, you look stupid. And actually some of it is looking at, well, is that the truth, or is that just one opinion? And if you replace that with a more helpful voice, what might that say? Some of it might be around, well, this voice is perhaps protecting me from looking stupid, or protecting me from making a mistake. And actually there's then something around, well, if you did make a mistake, what's the worst that could happen? And it's probably not going to be that bad. Yes, people do sometimes come wanting answers. In fact, I had a coaching session earlier on today, and when I asked about how they wanted us to work together, she said it'd be great if you could give me some advice. So I talked a little bit about what coaching is. So for me, coaching comes from the sort of the premise that the client has got all their resources within them. So they know the answers, it's just that they may be hidden, or they haven't been able to articulate them, or haven't really thought about them, or they do know the answer, but there's a little bit of fear there. So what it's like for having me as a coach, someone once said to me that when they were being coached by me, that they never knew what was going to happen next. And that's because I asked quite a lot of good questions, but they felt that didn't matter, because whatever it was, they knew they would feel safe. So for me, there's 2 things there. There's one thing about making a client feel safe, that they can feel open to say whatever they want, that they can be vulnerable, that they're not worried about being judged, because that's where they learn more about themselves in a space like that. But on the other hand, you want to kind of introduce something that's a little bit challenging. And for me, a lot of that is through questions and reflecting back what I hear, just to get them thinking more. So a good session for me is one where there's quite a lot of silence, actually, where the client is just thinking quite deeply, and that's what it is that's going to move them forward. People come to me for all sorts of different reasons. So I would say for nearly all clients that come, there is a higher level of self-awareness, and that might be around what makes them tick, particularly if someone is coming to me towards because of thinking about a different job, or a job hunting at the moment. And then that then in turn leads them to have a much better CV, because they've understood really what their strengths are. what else? Other people come to me because they are specifically looking to get promoted. And so the sort of what we need to work on varies quite a bit, but a lot of it might be around visibility. So how do you raise your profile? How do you get people to see you as a leader, which is actually something that's a little bit intangible. And as a result of that, they've got promotion as well. Another area of self-awareness is around limiting beliefs. So a lot of my clients who come who perhaps are feeling a little bit underconfident, we explore why that is and what some of the messages are that's telling them. And once they know that and they have awareness of that, there's then things they can do about it, about changing thought patterns and that kind of thing, and replacing them with more positive beliefs. And that's helped clients really take a step up, actually. So particularly around influencing more senior levels and recognizing that they have just as valued a role in that organization as anybody else at that level as well. And it's helped them sort of challenge a little bit more.